point in time. I think it's a really good one. So Tulane is an unusual private research university, not only for having started educating working adults all the way back in the 1880s, but also for the fact that it was founded, unlike many of its peers, not as a religious institution or a seminary, but as a medical school with a focus on tropical diseases and addressing tropical disease. And so that, that focus on applied learning and relevance is really deep in our institutional DNA. And we're really proud of the fact that we are the most current iteration at SOPA of that long-term commitment, and we can benefit from all of the ways that one can teach and learn in the 21st century, including what we're doing right now through Zoom. So when we talk about SOPA, these are the different areas that we always talk about. We start with online. That's obviously a big focus for folks at the moment. Doing online well is really important. We talk about our programs and our faculty, the ways in which we support students in a dedicated and consistent fashion. Of course, affordability and flexibility, which are really important to us because we have, especially at the undergraduate level, a focus on serving people from our communities. And then, of course, the fact that we are part of Tulane University with all of the positive associations that brings. So just to start out talking a little bit about online. So we have a method of teaching online at SOPA that we have developed over the years that mixes what's called synchronous learning, like what we're doing right now, with asynchronous work that you can do on your own time. Typically, classes meet once a month online, and when you're not meeting together through Zoom or whatever platform we're using, there's a huge amount of interactive material. There are not just textbooks, but also simulations and videos and online discussions. And we are able to make full use of multimedia work in a way that is much harder to do in a traditional classroom. There's a lot of interaction between you and the faculty and between you and other students. And I think that's a really important part of high quality online education. We know that SOPA is a high quality provider of online education, which you'll have some experience of, I think, at whatever your program is. Partly because it's a really good way to balance on-ground classes, even if that's your focus, is coming to campus, one of our campuses, either Uptown New Orleans or in Elmwood, or you want a program that's entirely online or almost entirely online. The reality is that in a pandemic world, and in a world where there is climate change, and that's certainly true in the Gulf South region, that you want to be at an institution that is prepared to be flexible in how they teach and is able to pivot between the classroom and online. And that's something that we are really good at. The scale of what we do online is significant. Thousands of students taking thousands of hours of online coursework. We have many programs, many academic programs that are offered entirely online. This is in the next slide. And we have programs that are award-winning, and so acknowledged by others to be really high quality because of all of these considerations. We have not just a couple hundred faculty who are trained to teach online, but we also have a staff of what are called instructional designers. So people who work closely with our faculty to make sure that the student experience is really excellent, that we are teaching with great rigor and focus, that we know exactly what it is we want to teach you while you're in classes, that you know what it is you're supposed to be learning, and that everything about the coursework is structured around those learning objectives. And that's true both online and in the classroom. And again, not always the case, I'll say. So we don't have time during this webinar to go through all of our programs. I'll just point out that the programs at SOPA have their own individual program webinars where you can meet the staff and faculty who focus on particular areas. But we have 3 different kinds of undergraduate programs: bachelor's degrees, so a Bachelor of Arts or a Bachelor of Science, depending on the field. Post-baccalaureate certificates that are for people who have already earned a bachelor's degree and want to come back for a base of knowledge in a field like digital design, for example, or to become certified as a teacher, or in one of the other areas that we have listed. And then what we call professional certificates, which are certificate programs that you can take that are not, that don't require that you already have a bachelor's degree in order to enroll. We're also really proud of our faculty. And on this slide, you can just see 4 people who are on our faculty who I think are really emblematic. We have a mix of full-time faculty who are completely devoted to teaching online, and and part-time faculty who work in industry and who teach with us part-time. So the folks who are over on your right-hand side of the screen, Tyra Mitchell and Ralph Russo, both of them came from industry and are on our full-time faculty. Ralph directs our IT program, and Tyra teaches in our kinesiology program. And then over on the left, you have 2 people who are still working in industry, bringing all the knowledge and the connections that they have from their day-to-day jobs, and then teaching part-time with us because they love to teach, and it's a really great component of their professional practice. We also talk about our student support and success unit. So dedicated academic advisement. Every single student in the school is assigned a highly experienced academic advisor who goes with you step by step through your academic program, making sure with you that you're taking the right classes at the right time, in the right order. And then if you have challenges, that you have help to figure out how to address those challenges and to balance school with life and work. And then dedicated career advisement as well. So individual advisement, you can get help with your resume or with your LinkedIn profile, but also access to seminars and events. And it may be the case that some of you were invited to the panel that we had with Entergy Corporation a few weeks ago, where we had 3 senior executives talking about their career trajectories and also talking about career paths within Entergy across the entire company. And that's a great example of the kinds of access that we offer. Like I said, our faculty who work in industry bring their professional connections and networks, and you benefit from those as a student and as an alum. And then of course, there's the fact that you are a permanent member of the Tulane community as an alum of SOPA. And so you have access to all the services and privileges that brings you. I want to take a minute to highlight this area called credit for prior learning, which is really important for our student body because there are multiple ways to basically get advanced standing in a degree program. Typically, the one we talk about most frequently and the one that is relevant to the most people is called prior learning assessment, which is a program where you work with our faculty to document your life and work experience. It could be volunteer experience, it could be previous jobs, match it up to our coursework, create a portfolio, and then the portfolio is graded. And you can get up to 24 credits in portfolio credit toward a bachelor's degree. All right. I'm taking a quick look at the questions in the chat. There are no extra steps to apply for Tulane employees. The question about an ambassador program, I want to hear, let's hear more about that at the end, actually, from Grace, if you can give us a little more detail on what specifically you're looking for. And I'm going to hand things off to Sheila to talk more about SOPA and our admissions process.
Thanks, Suri. Hi, everyone. And I always like to take a minute to welcome everybody for joining us. I always feel honored when our prospective students take time out of their day, especially in the middle of the day, to spend some time with us and hear about our programs. We love to talk about our programs, so we appreciate you being here. One of the things that we feel very strongly about at SOPA, and part of our mission, quite frankly, is that we are committed to providing the rigorous education with all of the support that Suri was mentioning earlier at an affordable price point. So I like to acknowledge that students are savvy consumers, as you should be. Investing in your education is a serious commitment. And so I'd like to explain a little bit about SOPA's tuition so that when you compare it to other schools, you can understand. Our tuition price point is $524 per credit hour for tuition. I like to explain to students and make a very strong point that we have very nominal fees on top of our tuition. So when comparing how much a SOPA education might cost as opposed to other schools, please compare our fees as well. You might find when looking at other schools that when you add in fees, it can almost double the tuition rate. That is definitely not the case at SOPA. So in addition to your books, you will have very nominal fees attached. Most of our students, if not close to all of them, seek out some financial aid. I encourage all of our students to fill out the FAFSA form, which is the federal form for financial aid. That process can take several weeks to complete. So I encourage students as like a little tip when kind of managing your time in the application process. When you start filling out the application for Tulane, at the same time, also start filling out the FAFSA. Don't wait to do that till the end. It will help you get your financial aid package more quickly, and that will help you make your decision to attend. The types of aid that are available to our students are federal grants and loans. We are very proudly a yellow ribbon school. For those of you who have a military background, we also have a 20% discount for active military, as well as K through 12 teachers and New Orleans public employees. The slide before this, Suri mentioned our credit for prior learning and life experience process. While that not only will give you advanced standing, meaning that you will come in with some credits already on your transcript, it's also a money saver. Those are 24 credit hours of classes that you will not need to take if you get those approved. So we like to talk about that in the affordability column as well. So you will move through the program faster, as well as it's a money saver. So another way that you all can save money is we offer an early enrollment scholarship. The only thing you have to do to receive this scholarship is just register for classes by these dates. So we will automatically give you the scholarship, and everybody who enrolls by these dates will get the scholarship. Nobody will be excluded. So for those of you who are looking to start at SOPA in January, this upcoming term, if you get admitted to SOPA and register for classes by November 15th, you will receive a $200 scholarship, a one-time $200 scholarship that gets credited towards your first semester of tuition. The same goes for summer and fall. The deadline for registration for summer term is May 1. And for fall, which is a year from now, for those of you who are really planning, is June 1. So for those of you who are on this call and you really know that this is where you're headed, I would encourage you to go ahead, apply, get accepted, and register for classes. It's just money that we're offering to you to help ease the first semester's enrollment burden. So we make our application process as simple as possible, but we always know that students have questions. So let me say that please never hesitate to reach out and ask questions. We like to get to know our students. That's part of what we enjoy doing at SOPA. It's part of the advantage that you have. And we consider the application process the beginning of building relationships with our students. So don't be shy. It benefits both of us to get to know you. But with that said, we do keep our application process streamlined and simple. You can complete the application on our website. That address is at the bottom of this slide, sopa.tulane.edu/apply. There is a $40 application fee, but as a thank you to you for attending this webinar, we automatically waive that. It should get waived. You should not have to take any additional steps. If for some reason you see that it is not waived, email us. It takes literally 1 minute to waive your application fee. So please reach out. Don't be shy about that. We will need you to upload a current government ID, either a passport or a driver's license. That's as simple as taking a picture on your phone and uploading it to the application. And then we also need transcripts from any institutions, if you're coming right out of high school, from your high school, and then also from any institution from which you've received any college credit. And you can send those transcripts either electronically or through US Postal Service. I highly encourage electronically. We get them faster, and mail is slowed down a little bit with sort of COVID hours. But if you need to send through US Postal Service, that's fine too. You can find out the address on our application and on our website as well. So our application deadlines for the January term, which is coming up, our spring term is January 1. For summer term is May 15th, and for fall, August 1st. That's the absolute last day to apply for those terms. Once again, if you are fairly certain that SOPA is where you would like to attend, I encourage you to get those applications in sooner and register so that you could get our early enrollment scholarship. Okay, so this is my contact information on this screen. We're going to be sending you a follow-up email where you will have this webinar embedded if you want to watch it again or rewatch pieces of it. But this is my email address. Feel free to take a picture, jot it down. It's also on the website. Please reach out to me. Send me emails. It's probably the fastest way rather than calling. And I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. Suri, were there any other questions that popped up in the chat?
There weren't, but Grace, do you want to tell us more specifically the question that you had earlier about the ambassador program?
Yeah, so I currently at my high school, I am part of the ambassador program, which works directly head-on with administration for just voicing the kids, almost like a student council. However, we also work directly with alumni for like alumni supported events and putting together events to just celebrate the alumni. This year at our school is actually the 150th year. So it will be celebrating all of the alumni. And I was just wondering if Tulane had any similar programs to that.
Sure. Okay, that's great. So we have a student government, as you know, as really does any institution. And the student government at SOPA tends to be, for the most part, focused on career development and career activities, because that's what students have told us they're most interested in having. But it's student-led, student-driven. We have student activity fees that we, small student activity fees that we collect from students each semester. Those help pay for career development services as well as for student chosen kinds of things, and the kinds of activities we do, the kinds of events we do change over time depending on the student interests. So yeah, so I think the equivalent would be student government. Are there any other questions that folks had for us? Like Sheila said, we are very much available.
Can I hop on Grace's question too, just a little bit, because I find that SOPA is really good at reaching out to students like you, Grace, that are just like very interested in being involved, love the school, love talking about it, and using students to talk to other students, like through the admissions process, and also just helping other students, get support that they need. So that sort of energy that students like you bring to the school is something that I feel like SOAP is very good at using and getting involved. So relationship building, I feel is a big thing for you. And so there are opportunities for that here. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll also add that one of the other really wonderful things about the program, about the school, is our diversity. And so literally we have undergraduate students from age 17 to 77. So we have incredible diversity in our student body, in people's backgrounds, students who are coming right out of high school, but also students who have been away from school for decades, community college graduates, veterans, a very diverse student body racially and ethnically. And so it's a welcoming, accessible place. Our classes are small. We're highly responsive. We are highly focused on making sure that our academic curricula are relevant and up to date. And like we say, it's all backed by the power of Tulane. So we really appreciate your time today. I see a quick question from Kiara about the maximum number of credits you can transfer in. For a bachelor's degree, that's 60 credits. So we require that half of the bachelor's degree, 60 credits, be earned while a student at Tulane. And then I see a question from Aiden about the main campus. There actually are multiple main campuses at Tulane. So classes at SOPA are offered on the Uptown campus in New Orleans and at a suburban campus in Jefferson Parish. And eventually, when Tulane becomes the anchor tenant at the renovated Charity Hospital in downtown New Orleans, we will offer classes there too, as well as online. Any other questions that people have? All right. Well, again, we really appreciate your time today. We look forward to getting to know you, and we look forward to seeing your applications for admission. So have a great rest of your day. Bye.